Are you drowning in student loan debt? You're not alone. Millions of Americans are in the same boat, caught in the current of a student loan crisis that's been decades in the making. It's a quagmire that's been hard to escape, with student loans traditionally being treated differently than other forms of debt in bankruptcy courts. A policy dating back to the 70s made discharging student loans in bankruptcy a near impossible task, leaving many in a cycle of debt they could never seem to break free from. However, a significant policy change in November 2022 has started to shift the tide. This new directive makes it easier for individuals with federal student loans to have their debt discharged in bankruptcy court. Since the implementation of this change, we've seen a surge in the number of bankruptcy cases filed by student loan borrowers, with the majority receiving either full or partial discharges of their debt. These changes reflect a softening stance on the discharge of federal student loans, moving towards treating them like other types of debt. But there's a beacon of hope on the horizon. Student loan forgiveness. Scene script. Student loan forgiveness, a phrase that sounds like music to the ears of many. It's definitely not a magic wand, but it's a lifeline, a ray of hope for those buried under the weight of student debt. Imagine waking up one fine day to find that a significant chunk of your student debt has been wiped clean. Reduced financial stress, better credit score, increased economic mobility. These are just a few of the many benefits of student loan forgiveness. It's like receiving a fresh lease on life. But how does it work? Well, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. There are various programs, each with its own set of rules and eligibility criteria. For instance, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which recently underwent significant changes, forgives the remaining balance of your loans after you've made 120 qualifying payments while working full-time for a qualifying employer, typically a government or non-profit organization. Then there's the income-driven repayment plans. These are designed to make your student loan debt more manageable by reducing your monthly payment amount. If you have federal student loans, this could be a viable option. And guess what? There are proposed changes on the horizon aimed at reducing monthly debt burdens and total repayment amounts even further. So who's eligible? Well, the specifics vary from program to program, but generally, if you have federal student loans and are facing financial hardship, there's a good chance you might qualify for some form of forgiveness. And the best part? You might be eligible for it. Now you might be wondering, how do I get on this train to debt-free town? Well, let's navigate that path together. First, you need to apply for student loan forgiveness. Yes, it's paperwork, but think of it as a love letter to your future self, free of debt. Next, keep an eye on the changes and updates to the loan forgiveness program. It's like following a treasure map where X marks the spot of your financial freedom. Things tend to change in the world of student loans, so staying informed is your compass. Remember, your journey doesn't end with the application. It's crucial to continue making your loan payments unless you're told otherwise. Think of it as your ticket to stay on the train. Lastly, don't hesitate to seek help if the process feels overwhelming. There are numerous resources and people ready to help you navigate this path. It's not a magic wand, but it's a significant step towards financial freedom. So, what does the future hold for student loans? A question as intriguing as it is uncertain. The landscape of student loans is currently under transformation, with legal debates and challenges unfolding. The fate of student loan forgiveness programs is being decided by none other than the Supreme Court itself. In the midst of this, the pandemic-related suspension of student loan payments remains a respite. Its future, however, is tied to the Supreme Court's ruling. This pause, which has been extended 8 times since March of 2020, has been a lifeline for many borrowers, freezing balances and putting a hold on collections for defaulted debt. The possibility of an extension of this payment pause is also on the horizon. This pause has already cost the government a whopping $155 billion. But it has arguably provided much-needed relief to borrowers during these challenging times. And then there's the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which is set to undergo significant changes. These changes aim to expand eligibility and simplify criteria, potentially benefiting a larger pool of borrowers. As for the income-driven repayment plans, they are also being redesigned. The proposed changes aim to reduce monthly burdens and total repayment amounts, capping payments at just 5% of discretionary income. Remaining balances could be forgiven after 10 years of repayment. It's clear that the future of student loans is a hot topic, with potential implications for millions of borrowers. But no matter what, remember this: you're not alone in this journey. There are resources and options available to help you navigate the murky waters of student loan debt.